Hey guys, hope you had an awesome first week of our Steadfast Pace Setters and can't wait to see y'all's vouchers tonight. I know you guys. You guys are competitive. You like to live in excellence. And I'm excited to see the big things that come out of this and to see y'all's results tonight. I even saw Deanne's voucher earlier. Even your directors are playing along. It's pretty dang exciting. And so today's teaching is going to be over a really exciting topic. And I'm really excited for you guys to hear from our teacher today. And so your directors will be taking turns, but we have picked some different topics this time. Not just book, coach, sell, and recruit, but some things that all of us had to learn how to kind of like get figured out in our lives to have success, because those topics only work well if you're able to function through those. And so tonight we're going to talk about emotional management, because it's really hard to be out there booking and coaching and selling and recruiting if your emotions are all over the place. And we are all females, so I don't think there's any of us that are like, oh, you know what, I don't need tonight's class. So today our teacher is going to be Danielle, and I'm just really excited for you guys to hear from Danielle. We were talking today. I've known her for 5 years now. She's been a part of our unit, and have definitely seen her just overcome some major emotional battles. And I'm sure those of you who've known her for a while have seen some changes in her. And obviously it led to her becoming a sales director. And so without any further ado, I'm going to unmute Danielle and turn it over to her tonight to teach on emotional management. And me and Deanne may pop back up if there's some questions or anything like that. But I hope you guys enjoy this from you, Danielle, tonight.
Am I on? Yay? Okay. All right. Well, hey, girls, and thank you very much, Reba, for that great introduction. Thank you, Deanne. I just want to say I told you I'd get emotional on this. I really am honored to be able to be a part of this, because it's been a long journey. And there was a lot of emotions I had to come through to get to where I am today. And you would think that a 54-year-old woman wouldn't have to deal with all that, but we do. And when changes happen in life, when change happens, period, whether it's good or whether it's bad, we deal with a lot of things. And a lot of it is right up here in between the 6 inches. And so I just want to share with you a little bit of my story. I'm getting a little vulnerable tonight, but I think it's necessary. I think it's very necessary, because there was a young lady that called me this afternoon after she saw a couple of things, my Miss Reba, my senior. And, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be real with people. And I think when we become real with everybody, we become real in certain circles, that we understand that it's not just us that goes through some of these things, and that when we battle, we can battle together and get through it. So without further ado, I just want to say I'm thrilled that you decided to do the Pace Setters with us. I think it is going to be a great journey that we're going to be doing together. And I know some of you are extremely competitive. I'm competitive too. But as we go through this journey tonight with the emotional management class, I hope and pray that you dig a little deeper, and so that you can deal with some of the things that maybe are trying to hold you back. And as I go through my story, I think you'll probably understand what I'm talking about. So in the word, in John 8:32, it says, the truth will set you, are you there? Hello? I don't know what happened. In John 8:32, it says, the truth will set you free. Anthony Robbins, who is a big coach and inspirational speaker, he said, the truth will set you free. It might tick you off first, because you get real with yourself. But then when you see the truth, then you're able to handle it so much better and make a plan. So that's kind of what happened with me. So I'm going to go through a little bit here. First thing I'm going to speak about is getting extremely clear about what you really want out of this business. I believe because of some experiences because of my experience, that once you are extremely clear about what you really want, out of this business, you will see that you're getting extremely clear about your life. Now, let me say that again. I never thought that was going to happen to me, but when you get extremely clear about what you want out of this business, as the journey goes through that, you're going to get extremely clear about what you want out of life. I think it's been 5 years now, 4.5 years now that I've been in Mary Kay. In the first year that I went to seminar, it was the 50th year anniversary of Mary Kay. And I came on in March, and we went to seminar that July, had to be July. And it was just like a whirlwind to me. I mean, there was so much going on. It was so exciting. And I saw the beautiful dresses and all the beautiful earrings. And oh my God, Deanne's shoes. I mean, come on, really? So it was really great. And I was just starstruck. And it was really wonderful to see, you know, all these women together and supporting one another and encouraging one another. And, you know, I saw some great speakers on stage, and I saw some success. And after that, it's like, I want to become a red jacket. And I did. You know, I became a red jacket. I mean, my emotions were all over the place. It was great. It was fun. And it was great emotions. It was good emotions. And I was learning what a red jacket really meant and what to start going into leadership, I thought. I did get starstruck with some things. But it was good. It wasn't bad. It was good. But, you know, I started building my team. And because of some emotional things that I was going through in my family, some emotional things that I was going through in my life, I was a red jacket. Then I wasn't a red jacket. Then I was a red jacket. Then I wasn't a red jacket. I was back and forth and back and forth. Could I sell? Yes. Was I being the leader I needed to be? No, not really. I'm talking about me, okay? And the reason I was having a hard time is I was emotionally having some challenges in my life, and I needed to get a hold of it. And I'll never forget. I mean, I wasn't inviting people to the meeting until the last minute, and Reba would come all the way from Oklahoma City to come to Wagner to spend time with us, you know, and here I was in my building, and I get all excited about setting that's the high I in me, decorating my building and getting excited about Reba being there. And I mean, I would fly out the door, and whoo, it was so much fun. And I wouldn't have any guests because I waited till the last minute because I was afraid of rejection. I didn't want to go through that emotion. I didn't want to deal with that emotion. And I remember her one day, or one night, I guess it was, there was a park bench outside my building. If y'all don't know, I had Mark and I had bought the old First National Bank building in Wagner, Oklahoma, and we made some apartments in it and had a big room in there that I could do meetings in. Oh, it was great. And so you went around the corner, there was this park bench, and she was getting ready to leave. And actually, we had a pretty good night that night. I didn't, but some of the other girls did. And she was very concerned about me. And she asked me to come with her and take a little walk. Whew. I see Deanne happen. So we go down to this park bench and we sit down, and very lovingly, but very firmly spoke to my heart and asked me what I really wanted. Did I just want to have meetings and just not go to the next level? Or did I really want to go to the next level? Because if I really wanted to go to the next level, she was going to help me get there. But if I was just playing, she wanted to know what it was that was holding me back. And I'm telling you, she wasn't giving up. She was going to dig in there and she was going to find it, you know. But I had to make a decision. What is it that I really wanted to do? And I had to face some fears that night. Not because she was trying to make me not, how do I say this? she didn't want me not to succeed for something that she knew I wanted when she knew something was trying to hold me back. She wanted me to get very clear about what it was that I wanted. And then when I got clear about what I wanted, then I was able to go through the motions of going through what I needed to do to get there. So not long after that, I mean, she did still start coming, but I started doing what I was asked to do. I was being teachable and trainable. The emotion part of it was hard because I didn't want to disappoint someone else. But when it really got down to it, because I'm a people pleaser, it wasn't about disappointing someone else. It was about disappointing myself. You know, and then I would have to deal with that in my mind. I mean, do any of you ever have these conversations in your head? I know. Okay, so now I sound like I need a psychiatrist. I don't know. I've had all these conversations going on in my head, and I was like, I had come off a horrible divorce. I never thought I'd get remarried again. I got remarried. Everybody's got a story. You know, everybody's got a story. But it's what we choose to do with those emotions. We can either let that pain of those emotions catapult us to something different and make a change, or we can stay in that pain and not live life. And I chose to live life. I was not going to stay in that pain anymore. So you heard just a little bit of what I was dealing with, so I won't go into all that, but I was dealing with a lot of pain. And I was all out joyful on the outside, but here I was hurting. And it was here that I needed to deal with it so I could go to the next level of what I wanted to really be and quit disappointing myself. So not long after that, I moved to Tulsa, and Mark and I sold the building, and we moved to Tulsa, and things were kind of rocking. Things were up and down. I was close to being, you know, going to DIQ some months, and some months I wasn't, and then it would just kind of up and down. But you know what? I'd have to get clear again because my emotions were getting in my way. My emotions were causing me to think, oh, I can't do this, or I don't want to do this because it's too hard. It's this, you know, I'm expected to do this, or it wasn't about what she expected. It's not about what Mary Kay expected. It's what I expected of myself. And then I disappointed myself. So then again, Reba was there. I mean, she was good to be there anytime I called her. And I think that's why it's so important that we talk to our directors on a constant basis to communicate with them, because they don't know how to help us if we don't communicate with them, right? How many of you have ignored a phone call? How many of you have Deanne's going no. How many of you have ever ignored a text? And I think when that happens, it's because we don't want to disappoint someone else, but then yet we have to look back in ourselves and realize we're disappointing ourselves. But when I knew that I had this trust of my director, I knew it was always about what she was trying to help me work through, because she saw the talent. She saw that I wanted something more, but there was always something that would try to kind of mess with me, and it was always my emotions. It was my fear. You know, I remember she told me one time fear meant false evidence appearing real, you know, because I'd have these conversations with myself about how something was going to happen and how something was going to turn out. Just, it hasn't even happened yet. What? Get that fear out of there, you know? That didn't even happen. Yeah, so, come on, wake up. And so it was really good that I was able to talk to her. And if you are having, I would just say to you, if you are having hard time figuring out what's the next step, what is the next, and I'm going to try to hurry up. You got to give me a 10-minute deal or something. Let me know, because I have no clock in here. 10 minutes. Okay, good. If you're having a hard time figuring out what the next step is because your emotions are getting in the way, do not call your director. Deanne has walked the walk. That's why she is where she is. She is a director because she's walked that walk. Our senior is a senior director with 2 of us now because she has walked that walk. And you want to take advice from people who have walked that walk. You have to be, and I'm going to get on that here in just a second, but you have to be careful who you take advice from. And I realized I got to take advice from those who have walked the walk, who know how to battle and to battle well, and not to become a victim, but to become a victor. Who is that? Gosh, I forgot her name. Oh, the one that just came out of nowhere. One of the NSD that does this. So here's the
Cindy.
Do what?
Cindy Williams.
Yeah, Cindy Williams. Okay, yeah, Cindy Williams. So here's the real stuff. I went to seminar. I missed the deal. Okay, so we moved to Tulsa. Realized my mom was sick. I'm going to try to hurry up now. But my mom was sick. I didn't know why she was sick, but I knew there was a problem. That's one of the reasons I moved to Tulsa. Then I found out she had cancer. Very emotional. She didn't tell anybody. She didn't let anybody know. I'm telling you, I was ready to give it up. I was ready. I was done. I couldn't deal with anything else. I was fried, I thought. And you know what? My director called me every day when my mom went in the hospital. She never let up because she was always that positive person in my life. There were some people who were talking to me about, well, you shouldn't be doing this and you don't need to do that. And you know, you've got to focus on this. And, you know, I had to get real with myself. I had to get real. And I was sitting in my mother's hospital room and I was watching her. And this is very real. This is going to be kind of hard for some of you to hear maybe. I was watching her die. I was just watching her die. That's all I was doing. She was, and I was just, my world was nuts. And then at the same time, my world was, I felt like I had nothing to live for. Because it just, what could I do? My mother was dying. And I'll never forget that Reba called me that very day. That was probably the lowest day out of that whole hospital stay. And she said, you got a minute? I said, sure. I'm just sitting here watching my mom die. I was angry. I was mad. I was horrified that my mother was dying, horrified. And I took out and went to sit out on the steps in the stairwell. And she told me about this NSD named Leah Carta and what she had heard this story. And I can't tell you the whole story right now because I don't have time, but in a nutshell, her mother died when she was young. She was in her 20s. Her mother was 45, 6, something like that. And she took on her siblings to raise. And she was a Mary Kay, and she was a red jacket. And she didn't have time to think about what was going to happen because she had these siblings she needed to take care of because these siblings were going to go into foster care if she didn't. And it hit me right then that I am not the only one that is walking through an emotional thing here. And, you know, it says in the word, where 2 or 3 come together, there he is. There's the Christ. Well, when we have that type of support, when 2 or 3 come together, when we have this relationship that we build each other up, you know, the anointing comes down and it just opened my head up and I could hear what Reba had to say. And you know what? She got my mind off of thinking stuff. She goes, you've got to get out of that room. You can't stay in that dark room. My mother wanted it dark. I was watching all these IVs, all these pills, all these shots, all this nothing that was not happening right. And she was doing, I think she was doing a pace setters or something. I don't know what she was doing, but she needed some leads. And you know what? It gave me a purpose. My emotion got excited because I wanted to help her get leads. And I went and got 25 leads from those nurses that day after 30 minutes after talking to her about this Leah Carta thing. And I thought, oh my gosh, how can I be this low in emotions and this high in 30 minutes? Well, because I'm a woman, number one. But number two, I had the support from someone that I trusted that let me know I still had some worth. And I started believing in myself again. Yes, my mother died. It was tough. And you guys are the ones that helped send me to career conference right after that. And I went to career conference. And I remember shaking, and I remember thinking, I want to do this, but I can't do this. I want to do this. I don't know if I can do this. I don't want to do this. And here was Reba, and here was Deanne, and they both took me by the arm, and they walked me up to that stage, and they helped me dream. And I trusted my leaders. I trusted that I needed to be there. And I looked up and I reached up. I didn't reach to the side. I mean, if you want to be a doctor, you don't take advice from a veterinarian. If you want to be a plumber, you don't take advice from an electrician. I wanted to be a director. And I mean, let's get very clear about this. If I wanted to be a director, I needed to talk to those who had walked the walk, right? I didn't listen to those who were saying, red jacket's not bad. I'm not saying red jackets are bad, okay? But I needed to listen. I needed to talk to somebody that was higher than where I was to know where to go. And that believed in me to go higher than I went, okay? I'm not saying I talked to any red jackets. Let me just say that. I'm just saying I'm a red jacket at that point. Nobody needed to come to me for advice how to go on higher up in leadership. That's all I got to say about that. So 3 months later, I got extremely clear with myself. And you see, it wasn't just enough to wear a red jacket. Not anymore for me. It was great. But I needed to know, I'm going to start reading from my notes so I can hurry up. But where I was going and why I was going with this business, I needed to know my why very clearly. Being a red was great, but it wasn't what I wanted to wear. I wanted to be. It's not where I wanted to be. It's what I wanted. I wanted to be successful. Yes, I wanted to wear that black jacket at the time, but it's not where I wanted to be in life. And I knew if I got to the place where I wanted to be, it was going to change things in my life. So what did I do? I reached up. I started talking to Reba. I started every day, 2-3 times a day, 4 or 5 times a day sometimes. And oh my goodness, if I didn't answer the phone, she was calling Mark. Because there was days when I finally went in, I went into DIQ, and I got extremely clear what I wanted out of that. And what happened was I quit looking at the emotion. I mean, I got excited about being a red jacket and being a director and wearing those suits, and that's exciting. To extremely clear about what I wanted out of life. I wanted my husband to come home and not work out on the road. I wanted to own a home. I wanted to send Alex to school, which is my grandson that I'm crazy love with, my little love, or homeschooling. I wanted to spend more time with my kids. I wanted some real things. So in October of 2016, I got really clear. I really listened to my director, and I went to most, I won't say every one of them, but I went to most of the Oklahoma City meetings on Tuesday night. I made that choice. I made that commitment because I knew for my emotional stability, that you hear that those who show up, go up. Yeah. I knew I had to show up. Just hear my heart here. I know some of you have to watch it on Facebook, but just seeing it on Facebook wasn't good enough for me. I had to be there. And I didn't care if it brought me home at 11 or 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. I knew I needed to be there. And every time I was there, I grew. I grew even more. I gave Reba permission to speak into my life. I also gave her permission. Maybe she didn't, maybe I didn't give her permission, but she did not let me come up with excuses anymore. oh, well, I got to go to the bank today, and I got to do this today, and I got to pick up Alex today, and I got to do this today. And so I don't know if I'm going to be able to book today. Ha! Don't know if I'm going to be able to book today? Get past that. I figured out how, I mean, she may not have children. Hear me clearly. She may not have children, but boy, is she wise. Get his toys, do this, do that. She gave me some great suggestions, and guess what? They worked. Because without having those faces, I was not going to finish the IQ. Okay? I just wasn't. So she made me, my vision board's behind me. It kind of changes with the seasons, but it's changed. But she had me put pictures up everywhere. I have them, and I still have them. They're in my car. They're on my nightstand. They're in the living room. They're all around my office, because I'm constantly looking, because what does that do to my emotions? When I see my grandson's picture and where I want to take him, I get excited, and I know I got to do more faces to get there, you know? It makes me happy. It makes me joyful. When I have okay, so I have a Rome picture up there. 2 minutes. I'm going to Rome again. And I'm going to take my husband, and I get excited, and I know that we're going to make things work. I get emotionally happy. And then what happens? I become, what do you call it? Contagious. I become contagious. And you can become contagious in 2 ways. You can be a Debbie Downer to somebody, or you can be a joyful Julie, or whatever you want to call it. Joyful Danielle. You can be contagious, and people can be contagious with you. So I will say this. Reba told me I needed to take care of myself before I took care of others. I would take care of 100% of everybody else before I would take care of myself. I learned that it was okay. It was okay for me to feel okay physically, mentally, and all these good things spiritually. I got with someone that helped me, that was been a friend of mine for years and years and years, and we pray together. And there's a lot of spiritual help in that. And you know what? She doesn't drag me down. She builds me up. And I figured out that my circle of friends could absolutely pull me down, or they could influence me up, which also woke me up to, what am I doing to my team? What am I doing to my friends? Am I pulling them down, or am I taking them up? And I want to be the example of what a good director should be. And if to do that, I have to be emotionally built up, spiritually, health-wise, mental-wise, and walking the walk and not just talking the talk. I no longer took advice from people I wouldn't trade places with. Will not take advice any longer. No more. That is non-negotiable for me. Will not take advice from people I will not trade places with. Period. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay. So, okay. I don't take advice from people that are in bad relationships, that are in a hot mess. Why would I do that? Why would you do that? Oh my gosh. You want to go up and Mary Kay, you take advice from your director. You call Deanne, you call Reba. They've walked the walk. They know what it takes. You reach up, you don't reach down. Don't even reach across, reach up, because your emotions will just, if your cup's not full, your emotions are either going to go down or they're going to go up. All right, and last thing, there's no more time for pity parties. That's what she told me in DIQ. Okay, now does that sound hard? I love you, Reba. I love you. But I'm sharing this because she got real with me. There was no more time for pity parties.
Hey, Daniela, we're going to have to stop this and start a new video. It's fixing to cut us off right now. Okay. So we're going to start this and start a new recording. Hang on.